Hi everybody.
Clean lips a little bit.
Perfect. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Hello to all of you. So today is day 12 out of 21, and we are aiming to eat hypoallergenic, cleanse-friendly foods. And it's been 5 days. We've been going for 5 days straight, trying our best to eat hypoallergenic, cleanse-friendly foods. The first 7 days, we were weaning off of sugar, artificial sweeteners, dairy, wheat, sodas, alcohol. And it's been a heck of a ride, honestly. I've noticed quite a few changes just in my life. I've noticed different kinds of energy inside of me, different moods. I've noticed how much I rely on food for experiences, which has been interesting. And it is Friday, so with the weekend coming up and the start of phase 3 starting Monday, I suggest you guys watch my previous video where I talked about surviving on the weekend during this cleanse, connecting back with your anchor and big mofa, and honoring your word. Now, if you're not participating in the cleanse at this time, I am going to be hosting another cleanse in May, so please message me and let me know if that is something you'd be interested in. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding my coaching or cleanse programs, send me a message and I'd be happy to, get back to you and get to know you guys a little bit more. Go ahead and grab a notebook or a journal so you can write down anything that comes up for you today. We're going to be talking about how to transition from any cleanse and phase 3 of the body awareness cleanse. So when transitioning off of a cleanse, you have 3 options. The first is you can reintroduce foods, and we'll talk more about that later. The second option is you can continue on the cleanse. It's critical to pick an end date so that a cleanse isn't the diet that you permanently have. So I recommend only continuing this cleanse for maybe another 7 days max before checking back in. And then the third option you have is you can eat anything you want. Now, this is not ideal. Sugar shock is real, okay? And a steady off-ramp is so much more beneficial for your body. If you go for this option, I recommend that you use it as a indulgence experiment to determine what your body is craving and how it responds to those foods. Do not zone out and numb out when you eat. Please stay mindful. You've worked so hard on building this connection and intuition with your body. And, don't go in straight for the chocolates, alcohol. Don't binge. That's not going to benefit your body. That's not going to end the cleanse very well for you. But let's talk more about step 1. This information will be on your HCI 21-day reset cleanse PDF under the documents portion of the More tab on the Coach Connect app. It will be on pages 36 and 37. Sorry. Get this set up. Okay. So phase 3 is the reintroduction phase. Okay, it's 7 days, and the purpose of the reintroduction phase is to identify potential food sensitivities and intolerances. These are foods that may have been causing you toxic reactions before starting the cleanse without you even realizing it. So one of the key reasons you feel better on the cleanse is because you've removed the most common irritants and given your digestive and immune system a whole reset. So some common irritants and intolerances are dairy, soy, beef, refined sugar, wheat, gluten, eggs, corn, coffee, chocolate, and alcohol. Now, some of these irritants taste amazing, but they leave you feeling terrible, right? They can cause you mood swings, digestive upset, bloating, fatigue. Getting clear on which foods trigger those toxic symptoms will help you steer your health. So during this phase, you'll focus on reintroducing the 2 most common irritants, which is gluten and dairy. So there are a few steps to doing this, and I'm just going to be reading off of the manual that I mentioned earlier. So the first step is to reintroduce gluten 2 or 3 times a day for 2 days. So basically, yeah, consume 2 or 3 times a day gluten, and for 2 days, then notice how you feel over the next 48 hours. You'll still be following the cleansed diet. Aside from that, the only difference is that you'll be adding gluten to see how your body reacts to it. Try adding breads to your breakfast and maybe a little bit of pasta with your lunch or dinner, but don't include any other irritants or other excluded items, because the goal is to isolate one excluded food at a time to determine if you have any specific intolerances or sensitivities. Second step is to record your reactions in your journal. Use a journal to record any reactions you might get having gluten. This may be bloating, gas, skin breakouts, foggy mind, or constipation. And not everyone will react to this the same way. Some people may have their reactions immediately. Some people might have their reactions the next day. And that's why it's so important to test one thing for 2 days. And here are a couple of questions that you can ask yourself. And like I mentioned, this is going to be on the handout, so go ahead and take a look at this when you're journaling about your reactions. Right after you eat it, ask yourself, do you have a runny nose or mucus in your throat, fatigue, bloating, headache? How are your energy levels? A bowl of wheat pasta at night, for example, may make you feel very tired immediately after eating it or upon waking up in the morning. How are your bowel movements for the day? Were they as frequent and as easy as they were before when you were just eating the friendly foods? Do you feel cramping? Do you have pain, gas, constipation, diarrhea? Did you have difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep? Do you have really intense dreams or maybe nightmares? Did you wake up in the middle of the night? Do you feel super emotional the next day? Are you anxious, angry, moody, depressed, or irritable? These are really good questions to ask yourself when you eat any of these foods, because you need to start reconnecting and really questioning what your body is doing. It'll tell you everything that's wrong. It's great. Step 3 is eat from the cleanse diet for 2 days. This will help you get a clean slate after reintroducing gluten, and then you can start testing for the next possible irritant, which is dairy. So step 4 is reintroduce dairy 2 to 3 times a day for 1 to 2 days. And notice how you feel, right? So to reintroduce dairy, try having a glass of milk or a few pieces of cheese with your lunch or evening meal. And it's important to avoid combining other excluded foods, because you want to make sure that you can determine which food is causing you intolerance and sensitivity. Stay away from cereal, ice cream, or baked goods, because these contain other excluded foods like processed sugar, gluten, or preservatives. If you have a reaction, you won't know which ingredient caused it, right? So step 5 would be review it in your journal. You can have no reaction, you can have a mild reaction, which would be, bloated, gassy, tired, itchy. A strong reaction would be, you got very angry or upset or had sharp stomach pains, you feel nauseous. So take a look at your journal. What types of reactions did you have for gluten or for dairy? And if you had mild or strong reactions to one or both of these, chances are you have an intolerance or an allergy. And now you can start steering your health depending on these symptoms. And if you want, you can extend this phase and slowly start reintroducing other common irritants one by one, starting with processed sugar or caffeine and then alcohol, and recording your reactions. And this is how you guys are going to start kicking off your very own maintained preserved diet. It's going to be completely unique to you. It will not be the same as mine. It will not be the same as anyone else doing this cleanse, because it's all up to you. So If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I love you guys, and I'm so proud of you for getting this far, and I'm so excited to see what next week will bring and how you guys are all going to react to reintroducing foods. I hope you have an awesome day.